say anything about a bomb.
They're bombs.
Stop. People could get hurt.
Guys, big shout out to Nifty on YouTube. I saw that video this morning and I could not resist but take some of the funniest parts and show you guys in my Apex Daily Laugh. Big shout out to one of my favorite sponsors I've ever done on this channel, which is Opera GX. Opera GX has not forced me to use their internet browser for the last 2 years. I just absolutely love this because they have a lot of amazing features. One being like GX control, where you can limit your CPU and RAM usage for whenever you need to have a lot of tabs open, but you're sick and tired of lagging in your games. Similar to the CPU and RAM limiter, they also have a network limiter, which is perfect for online gaming and especially live streaming. Without Google Chrome having that feature, it uses a lot more network bandwidth compared to Opera GX. They also have a very neat Discord and Twitch integration within their website, so you can respond to your DMs or check which one of your favorite streamers are live at any time. With the GX Corner feature, you can stay up to date with a lot of the games, a lot of the newer releases, but you also have a calendar that you can switch in between platforms to see the upcoming games. One of my favorite features is forced dark pages, so you don't have to change it to dark mode on whatever website you're on. It does it for you. It's like your internet sunglasses. When the websites try to flashbang you, you're already immune. Everything you love about Opera GX is now on mobile as well. So guys, make the switch. The link is down in the description below. I would not have made this switch for myself 2 years ago and been using it voluntarily if it wasn't the better option. But hey, we got some good news. The season 15 launch trailer has finally been revealed. You're able to watch it now yourself. A lot of the fans have been giving their opinions about the trailer. From what I could tell, most people seem to not really care too much about the trailer itself. Like, it wasn't nearly as hyped of going to like Olympus or anything back when we got the season 7 launch trailer. But one thing that people really did like about this trailer was the fact that we got to see Catalyst's abilities here, and oh my gosh, let me tell you, a lot of fans for once in a long time are actually excited about the new meta that we're going to be going into when it comes to season 15. If you're confused on what we're talking about with this meta, allow me to do the honors of what season 15 is going to look like. So over the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about what this meta will be on this map, and that is because they actually built this map with defensive legends in mind. Catalyst is going to be a defensive type legend. We did know what our abilities looked like back then, but now we know a little bit more because they've been updated and reworked. So when this map was created, it actually looks a little bit more like Olympus in the sense that it's a lot more open plains. It's a lot more probably going to be like a G7 scout type meta, a 30-30 type meta, probably very similar to what the metas would be over on Olympus. Which, by the way, if we do keep the 2-split system, I think the 2 maps that we'll be playing this season is the new map, which is going to be called Broken Moon, and Olympus. That's something I'm actually pretty excited for. However, it's probably a pretty good thing because this map, like I said, was made in mind for defensive legends, and that is because with the open fields that it has, with the lack of high grounds that it has, you're going to have to rely on your team having a defensive type legend. Now, Apex has always had these metas, but the metas have kind of been random. It's been less about what classification the legend has and what role they play in the game, and more so about which legends are the most broken, which legends are the most powerful. But I think with these new maps that they're creating with defense in mind, I think they're making a forced meta here, which actually can be a good thing because they're probably trying to make something more balanced and something more consistent. And I'm not talking about the same 3 legends, but I'm talking about legends that probably fit within 3 classifications. I guess similar to how League of Legends, you can always expect there to be a support player on the bottom lane, usually like an ADS on the bottom lane, and I think some tank guy usually plays top lane. I'm super uncultured when it comes to League, but I have played a little bit. So it's not necessarily the same 3 champions that are in those positions, but the same roles and classes. So I think Apex is trying to make it, especially with this new map and the new legend, where you're going to have a defensive legend on your team in some form or fashion, whether that be Newcastle, Gibby, or the brand new legend, which is going to be Catalyst. Theoretically, this should make some esports scenes a little bit more consistent as well. We also know that they have plans to rework all of these classes, so we could talk about that in the future. One of the reasons why the fans are so excited and why they actually seem to like this new legend meta for gameplay in season 15 is the fact that Catalyst is obviously going to be a defensive legend, so this forces the brand new legend to automatically be in the meta. So what are these abilities that Catalyst, the new legend, has? Well, let me tell you, they have changed quite a bit. I know everyone has talked about our abilities since the trailer has come out, so I'm not going to harp on these too much because I mainly want to talk about the meta for the new season and why fans actually seem to be a little bit more excited than normal. But basically, the building structures that we thought she was going to get, and also the Port-a-Fort looking thing we thought she was going to get, none of that is going to happen. Basically, her ultimate seems to be like this massive wall that you can raise, similar to how Astra can raise a massive wall on Valorant. I guess also kind of similar to how Sage can raise a little bit of a wall, except this wall you can walk through, but it's going to slow you down and you cannot shoot through it. You're not going to be able to completely trap people out of zone. They can run through it, but they will be stunned. The tactical seems to be like these little sticky pads, and honestly, Catalyst reminds me so much much of Viper, not just with the way that Catalyst looks, but also, bro, these abilities are almost identical to Viper. Viper has this massive wall that she can throw up as her ultimate that looks very similar to the one that Catalyst has. Also, Viper has these little sticky things, except Viper's also does a little bit of damage with them. Then the natural design of Catalyst looks very similar to Viper as well. So I can't really say that I'm mad. I mean, if something works, it works. I'm not mad about it being in the game. It just feels like it's obvious they took massive inspiration from Viper and Valorant. So when you're running in these open fields like this new map is designed for, and you really need some immediate cover, Newcastle may be that defensive legend that you need, but Catalyst might be that legend that you need. You could throw up this wall. Nobody's going to be able to shoot through it. They're definitely not going to walk through it because it's going to be like a Watson fence, like an easy kill. They also are going to get no information from you because they have no idea where you're going to rotate through. One thing I'm really confused about is if there's going to be like an audio barrier as well, because I believe with Astra's ultimate over in Valorant that you can't really hear what's on the other side, or at least like not very much. It's like this massive audio barrier that goes through as well. So all in all, I haven't really seen people discuss whether the trailer was good or bad. Most people have just been discussing Catalyst abilities because that's the biggest takeaway from this. So far the map seems to be good. A lot of people seem to like it, and also the Catalyst abilities look pretty good. The last stamp of approval of hoping that this next season is going to be a hit is hopefully the rank system gets a good change. I don't think Apex is going to die even if this was a bad season. I think it's still got a couple of years to sit around without any competition arising right now, but they definitely have to be more competitive when it comes to keeping players around, because there's going to be a lot of games coming out in the next couple of years. Something could be revolutionary, and if Apex honestly is not prepared and not ready to take the game to the next level, in my opinion, they need to take this to another game, another version of Apex Legends 2. That's when you might see some issues arise, but until then, I think we're pretty good. This was coming from Fallout yesterday, saying, I'm convinced that people love to complain either number one for the sake of complaining or number two for attention, and he was retweeting Imperial House tweet here saying that they have to have a good season 15 or else this game is doomed. And he says, we used to have it good. Right now the rank system is terrible and there's nothing rewarding players for coming back to the game. One good new game, he says, will completely dismantle Apex. So that's a very scary thing to see, especially from someone who's probably the absolute core of Apex Legends influencers. I mean, you would never want to lose someone as big as Imperial How. Definitely if the revolutionary game came along and everybody's liking it, everybody's digging it, and a lot of people leave their games to go to that game, similar to how a lot of people left their game to come to Apex Legends. If another game like that came out, you do not want to lose people like Imperial House. So he says, yes, the core game is very good, but they need to fix the systems that hold it all together. Now that we're on the backside of COVID, games are going to start ramping up production, and it's definitely going to get more competitive. Apex has got to step it up. We've already seen people like Lulu say things like this. I love Overwatch 2. She's been streaming it nonstop every single day. So it's pretty safe to say that maybe we've lost Lulu from the Apex community, unfortunately, and she's moved on. It's also not good when we've had features like cross progression and also private lobbies that we've been asking for so many years, and we've been told that they are coming at some point. But then last season we just got told that gifting was coming at some point, and literally one season later they bring it into the game. So like, it's very obvious where the priorities are, and it's money. You can't even gift things with crafting medals. You can't even gift currency. You can only buy them with Apex coins. Crowrindo made this point though that I thought was very good. Thank you to Lawrence for tagging me in this. He said the new gifting system is already born dead, and here's why. You have to be friends with someone for 2 weeks before you can even gift them anything. So that means you can't really give away collection events, because whenever somebody wins, by the time you friend them and it has been 2 weeks, it's already over. But also, you can't even gift thematic or collection event items, and no currency for gifting, and no using crafting medals to gift either. He said it's a very limited system, and I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I expected better, and I think a lot of people feel that way as well. And you also had like Alpha Intel saying they agree. It's kind of a shame to see. I think Lobo Tommy hit the nail on the head saying it's an okay feature, but advertising it as one of the main features of the new season is just so sad, and I doubt it will be improved in the ways that it's lacking. Just look at clubs and arenas. I mean, they've added a lot of good ideas to the game and just not cultivated them to be the best that they possibly could be. And with as bad as they've abandoned things like clubs and also arenas, that makes me think that there's got to be a bigger plan that they're not telling us, because there's no way they would actually do such a terrible job of maintaining things like that, not implementing like clan battles or club battles, whatever you want to call them, or some type of tournaments that you can do with your club, or challenges that you can do with your club, or getting like extra battle pass points from your club. There's no way that they've actually abandoned that without something bigger in mind. I'm interested to see what you guys think down in the comment section below. Like the video if you guys did enjoy, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one. It's Viper only positivity, and later, Gators.